Okay, welcome back. So this video will be about how I spent one day at the Nysc camp. I graduated from school 2019, end of 2019 November. So but then I finished my projects around early 2020, like January. During 2020, once you graduate, you're supposed to go for your National Youth Service Corps. That's Nysc, the compulsory service in Nigeria. So you're supposed to go the next year, or if that same year if you graduated early in the year. I graduated 2019, and then because of the COVID-19 that came in 2020, so we could not go for service that year. We were at home all through 2020. 2021 was when my call-up letter came, and after all the process and everything, the registration and all, I started getting, anxious? I started getting anxious, and anxiety now, something you've always wanted to go for a whole year. I had all these preparations in my head, everything I wanted to do, all this anxiety and nervousness, I guess they built up and brought out something I didn't know was there. So a week to the day I was supposed to resume in camp, I started feeling feverish. So I was like, it's nothing. Even my sister was like, it's probably just anxiety. And because I had to go to the market and get stuffs, I even got two white sandals. I don't know what I was thinking, what I wanted to do with those sandals then. But then I got two white sandals that I barely wore. Because like I said, like the title of this video, I spent one day, like 2 days, one night at the Nysc camp. I even had planned, like if you watch my introduction to this channel video, you will get that I said I was a fashion designer. So I got some materials. I wanted to sew shorts for myself and to sell, because I got some intel before the camp started that some people comes to camp with just some few shorts, and that's what we are going to be wearing, like basically almost every time. So, and government gives, I think, 2, which will probably not be your size, but if you're lucky to be your size. I got a lot of materials. I started cutting. I was already feeling feverish. I got some material, I cut them, I started sewing. I think I made about 30. 4 days to camp, and I was already so sick. We had to go to the pharmacist. I couldn't take injections. I mean, there's no time. I still have a lot to do. Wasn't looking like this thing was going to go, but then and I wasn't even eating well. I had lost my appetite. A day 2, it was like, okay, maybe when I get to camp, and let me just continue using these drugs. I'm sure when I get to camp and I see my fellow coppers, everything was going to get resolved. I was going to feel better. I just had that in mind. The day I was supposed to go, I even met a copper mate. We entered the bus together and we sat side by side. She sat beside me. So when we got to the bus stop with all our luggages, my camp was at Shagam, Ogun State. I was posted to Ogun State. I didn't say that before. I was posted to Ogun State, and then my camp was at Ikenne, Shagam. When we got to the camp, because of the COVID-19 was just reducing, it was just coming down then. So we got tested even before you enter the camp. We got tested. They did that uncomfortable test like that. We moved on inside. They checked our luggages. They checked for any sharp object, because apparently you're not supposed to take any sharp object into the camp. I only took needles and thread and blade, but that was for my own sake. I knew definitely I was going to need to amend something, just like that. But then I guess they have tailors at the Mami market, so they removed the pins and they left the thread for me, but they removed the pin and the blade. So when we got inside, we entered. After they checked our luggages, we went straight down to the hostel. We were supposed to get a room and a bed. So we registered what they call them, the hostel women, hostel ladies, I don't know, took us inside and gave us a room. I proceeded, I arranged my stuff. Not long after I settled in, someone else came in, and it's like she was already conversant with the camp. I got to the camp. They started the camp registration like Monday, so I got to the camp like 3 days after. So people were already there. They're already conversant with how everything goes there. So one lady came in, she's a copper, and she told me that I had to really go and get my uniform because they will soon ring the bell for us to come to the field. So I was like, oh, okay, let me just go and get the registration done. I locked my bag and I left it. I carried my valuables, my phone, my charger, my power bank, my money. Then I went to like one hall like that to do the registration. So I did the bank opening, UBA. They opened UBA for me. So bank registration, my BVN and everything. So I got my uniform, the NYC uniform, the cap, every necessary thing. And because I wasn't feeling good, I forgot to take my belt. I left my belt with the camp coordinator there for my platoon. I think I was in platoon 5. I think so. I'm not sure. I just wanted to take the one I want to take, the one I could wear, change into, and just leave that place. It was so crowded. So, and I wasn't feeling good. I didn't really eat. I could not eat. I didn't have appetite. I went back to the room. I changed into the white shorts and then the white round neck and my shoe. The proper uniform. So after that, I went to the Mambi market. That I felt like maybe if I get fruits, maybe I'll feel better. So I got this what's it called? This popular fruit drink. I've forgotten the name right now, but 5 Alive. Yes, I got the 5 Alive, the big bottle. I got it for 500 naira then. Right there, I opened it. It was cold. I drank it, thinking that it was going to give me strength because I got fruit salad as well. Not long after I got back to the hostel, they rang the bell. I was happy. Like I said before, some people have been there since Monday, so they've learned these steps. So those of us that got there that day, they just mixed us with the rest. We're just supposed to just automatically catch up. So we started the practicing or rehearsing, just like every one of us that got there that same day. We kept looking at the others to get what they are doing. But this thing will end, it will end, it will end, it will end, it will end. I was already getting so tired. Even the person that was beside me, a guy for that matter, was already complaining seriously. Now think about me that was sick. And by the way, I didn't really know what was wrong with me. I was taking malaria drugs on empty stomach because I wasn't really eating. I was like drinking water and stuff. So I didn't know how serious what was wrong with me was. We kept on doing it. I was telling the guy beside me that if I survive this training today and I end it with them, I'm going straight to the clinic because I cannot come and die. I'm going straight to the clinic. They'll give me injection and I'll get better. I'll go back to my hostel. But then it was getting too long. The sun was hot. I was so tired. I didn't even know when I just felt like I was going down. And then I fell down. I felt some rush. Some people rushing towards me. I guess that was the Red Cross. So I heard this. They carried me. Someone carried me on his back, and then to the ambulance. I didn't even know they had ambulance there. I didn't know. But then they carried me to the ambulance, and they drove to the camp clinic. Fast forward, when I woke up, I saw oxygen. They had fixed oxygen to my nose. Oxygen, that thing that will help you breathe well. So apparently, they lost me along the treatment. They had to resuscitate me with this air pushing on the chest and breathing into the mouth. What's it called? CPR. Then when I woke up, I saw the oxygen thing. It was cold breath. I liked it. Oh God, why did I say I like it? Okay, it was cool, but it's not something you pray for. Thank God for natural breath. They put me in the ward and they said they were going to monitor me for the next 24 hours. So, like 2 of the doctors came, a male and a female. They came and they were like, girl, you gave us wahala. What is wrong? You gave us what? If you were sick, why did you come to camp? And I was like, I wasn't that sick. It was just, how was I going to do it? Not coming to camp. The only reason they gave is either you are terminally ill or something, you are seriously ill, or you are married, or you are in the first. I think so. I was not seriously ill and I was not married. So, well, and you even need a doctor's prescription or be doctor's notes to claim that you are sick. So where was I supposed to get a doctor's note for malaria at that short interval? I had already even done my registrations before then, before the sickness started. So I was like, all these ones you are saying, please just treat me and let me go back to my hostel. I wanted to really go back to the hostel, so but then I'm not sure they did any tests. I don't know. They don't really have enough equipment there. I mean, they are copper doctor, what they call them, copper nurse, or they are just coppers as well. But then they are into the medical line, both the nurses and the doctors. So after everything, I was in a ward for 24 hours. So by night, they were like, I'm not showing any sign of as if I'm getting better, that they will have to send me back home. I was like, no, I don't want to go home. They don't know what they can do here. They can't admit me for more than 24 hours. So they got my information. I gave them my platoon number. So they called my platoon officer to bring my document. So the next morning he came. No, he was not around. So he sent someone to bring my documents. So they got my guardian number. By then, my guardian's number was my sister, one of my sisters, and one of my brothers. So I told them not to call my sister because she has high blood pressure and any little thing will just shoot up. So I told them to call my brother instead. So they tried calling my brother, and eventually, when they got through to him, he could not come. He was not around. It was far away. So they had to now still call my sister again. I didn't know about that then. They just told me my sister is coming. I was like, why did you call my sister? And that was when they told me that my brother, like I said before. So when my sister got there, guys, you wouldn't believe it. My sister did not wear bra. From Lagos State down to Shagam, Ikenne. Would you even believe that? It wasn't funny. She was drenched in her tears. Like her clothes were wet. You can imagine the kind of mental stress for someone to leave Lagos without putting on bra. Imagine the kind of level, because it added to it because she knew I was sick a bit, but all of us didn't know it was going to turn out like this. And I had no choice but to show up in camp, like they said. If you don't show up, it's another ball game again. I didn't want that stress at all. The matron kept telling her to calm down. It's not that serious. Why is she crying? She's adding to the matter. Nothing is wrong with me. All sorts. So, long story short, she was there. She had also called my elder sister, who sent her daughter to meet up together. We all know that she's very emotional and she loves me so much because of all those things. So my niece, that's my big mommy's daughter, was already on her way. They met at the camp. So they said they have to arrange for a car, something that is going to take me from there home or to a hospital. They went to arrange for a taxi. So when that came, they took the ambulance to carry me to the hostel to pack my things, to get my things. So luckily for me, two of my classmates went to school together. They were also posted to Ikenne. So they followed me because outsiders are not allowed to enter the hostel. So they were the ones that followed me into the hostel to get my bags and everything. And when we're coming back with the ambulance and one of the Red Cross men, yes, that was when they told me the story. He was the one that carried me from the field. So when we carried the bag, when we were coming outside to enter the ambulance again, I fainted and they rushed me to the ambulance again. So there was still cannula in my hand. They continued the fluid they were giving me till we got to the park where the taxi was. The taxi they arranged. So it was a nurse followed us to the park. So that was when they now removed the fluid, the drip, as everybody knows, the drip. So that was when they removed it, and then I was lying down there till we got to my big mommy's house. So that was where we went, and my big mommy took care of me. She's a nurse. She's Agba nurse. She treated me and I got better. I really miss camp, Sha. I really miss the experience. I longed for that experience. At some point, I felt like I could go back. A week to the camp ending, I was already better. So I thought I could go back to camp, you know. So from my big mommy's place, which was at Ikorodu, so I packed everything, you know. I packed everything. I wanted to go back to camp to go and finish the 1 week in camp. So, guys, when I got to the entrance, the person that met me there was like, "Where are you coming?" I told her, I explained to her that this happened. She searched my bag and everything, you know, like the first time. She was still surprised. So when I entered, one of the camp coordinators just met me on the way and was like, "Why am I coming inside now when the camp is almost ending? It's like a week to ending of the camp." So I explained to him as well, and he was like, "Why am I stressing myself? They are not enjoying here. They are suffering." So I was like, "No, I want to enjoy the suffer too." So he was like, "Just go home and go and rest. That it's not even proper for you to come inside now, because the people doing the COVID-19 test, they are not around again, because the camp is going to an end already. So I'm not really supposed to come back." So he was like, "No, he's not going to allow me to enter, that I have to go back." So for him to make sure that I actually went back home, he took me with his car, took me to the park by himself and put me in the bus going back to Ikorodu. I was so pained, but he spoke to me, you know, he advised me, said I should just come on the last day to collect my posting letter. So I felt better. After that, I was like, okay, maybe let me not stress myself. Let me just enjoy this automatic free time I got. When I got home, I explained to them at home. I got home very late in the night. And after that, on the last day, I went back to camp to get my posting letter. I was posted to after Shagam, immediately after Shagam. I can't really remember it's a school, a public school around Ikenne. So initially I wanted to go to Abeokuta because I had a mission in Abeokuta, and I'm still going to talk about that maybe in the next video. I had a mission in Abeokuta concerning my health. So when I got the posting, I was not too happy. I was like, I have to do something about this. I don't have money to come and spend on reposting again. So someone told me there's interstate posting, just like the one you do from state to state. There's the one they do within the state. So I was like, okay, I will try out for that one. I have to go through my zonal coordinator then. So I was like, okay, let me just, you know, you get this automatic 3 weeks after camp to go home and rest before you now. And she was like, it's very hard to get this interstate posting, that even there was someone that was blind, and because of that they wanted to post him to somewhere closer to his house, but they did not accept that. It's very hard. And because I'm also requesting for reposting based on health issues, that she doesn't know, but we'll try. The first thing was for me to go to the school where they posted me and get them to reject me. So I went to the school. It's a public school. I saw the principal. I spoke to her. I told her everything. She was like, "Oh, okay." And they needed a geography teacher, but then because of what I explained, so she had to write that they rejected me. So they rejected me, and I took the rejection letter back. The zonal coordinator attached it to the document she was sending over to Abeokuta. So after all the process, I think I submitted some passport, my ID card, every of those things. I submitted them again to her. So she added those things to the document, and then everything became solid, and she sent it. So after like 2 weeks or more, I'm not sure, I kept going there to hear feedback, you know, back and forth. I eventually got my reposting to Abeokuta. Okay, now I've been posted to Abeokuta. Now to work on, to get where I'm supposed to work. That's my PPA. I had a friend who was working at the governor's office, Ikenne. So she told me how the place was, and I was like, okay, maybe I should just go. I don't know any other place. Let me just try and see if I could be posted there. So I told the zonal coordinator, and then she was able to post me there as the place was still available. So she posted me there, and then, by the way, I didn't have a house in Abeokuta. I didn't have nobody in Abeokuta I was going to stay with. So I had the plan of taking an apartment. It was almost towards the end of the month when I'm supposed to go for the thumb printing that we do every month for you to get the next month's salary. So I went to the governor's office where I was posted, so to let them know that okay, I've been posted here, for them to do the documentation and everything. So they asked me when I wanted to resume. I told them that I was going to resume maybe the week after or 2 weeks after, because I haven't gotten my accommodation sorted yet. So by then I had a friend who also served in Abeokuta, but then she has left the place, but her things are still there. So I was spoken to her that I was going to take over the room from her. So but I still had to pay for everything, the agency fee and everything, but then it was fast because I didn't have to look for. So the house was at Pansheke and my place of work was at Ukemoson. So it's about like 200 naira going, 200 naira coming on average. I don't know about now, but then I got the accommodation sorted, and I went to the local government the day of the thumb printing, and the coordinator there was like, no, I had to bring a letter from where I was posted, and I told him that I haven't worked there. I just got there, I just resumed. Luckily for me, the coordinator was also my platoon leader in camp. So that was when he told me, when I told him the story, but that was when he told me that I forgot my belt with him. I was supposed to get the belt from him, but for some reasons I never got it from him. He told me to get a letter. I told him I have not resumed yet at the place they posted me, that I was just going to resume the following week. He said it doesn't matter, I should tell them, since they already know me, I should tell them to give me a letter. So I went back there that same day, and luckily for me, they gave me a letter, and then I brought it. I submitted the letter and I thumb printed, thank God. That was how I resumed at where they posted me the following week. But then, everything, I was on and off at the place based on some reasons. And let me just hint you, it's because of my second lobectomy surgery. I'm going to tell you all the story. That gist is a long one, because this one is not even about only the surgery. This is my second surgery. I've already done one before. This second one was it was dramatic. It was painful. It was everything, everything I did not expect. Even though I had done the same surgery before, this one was just, I did it at Abeokuta. That was the reason why I wanted to get posted to Abeokuta. It was, in fact, I'm going to share this story. It was both sweet and sour and everything. But then that was how I get to spend just 2 days, 1 night at the Nysc camp, Agamu, Ikenne, Ogun State. So guys, that is the story. Thank you. Love you guys. Love always. Bye. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I know I've been on and off, but I'm pleading with you. Please don't unsubscribe. Subscribe. Stick with me. I'll get better. I'm still getting to know how all these things works and all. So please subscribe. You're looking at me. So please subscribe. I'm begging you, subscribe. It doesn't bite. It doesn't bite. Let me copy this Josh. If you know Manzan, you know Josh. So does it bite? You just press subscribe. That's all. So thank you guys. Love you.